This video will help you install the Husqvarna Automower. When you receive a new job, the first thing you should do is talk to the customer. During this conversation, be sure to use your checklist to ask all pertinent questions about the installation. Schedule a date and time with the customer to do the installation. It's preferred that they be home for the installation, but it's not necessary. Be sure to take notes of your conversation so that you can remember all the details. Once you have the customer's address, now you can move to the computer to do additional research. You'll need a view of the customer's property from overhead. This will help generate a game plan for you to know what to look for when you go to do the install. Using the SOD Solutions calculator will help you determine exactly what the property looks like and how the installation is going to take place. This information will also help you determine how much materials to bring. Be sure to read and follow all procedures outlined in the AIP guidelines. One of the best tools we can use is SOD Solutions Lawn Calculator. Put in the customer's address and you'll see their property on the map. Now you can pin each corner of the property to get an outline measurement of the entire property. You can spend a few minutes and get very detailed here so you'll have a better understanding of the customer's property when you arrive. Now that you've finished your map, on the left side of the screen you'll see the total distances that you have to work with. Once you arrive to the property, take a few moments to walk the property with the customer. At this point you can discuss any concerns that the customer may have. You can also show the customer how a basic installation works, and you could discuss any potential problems that you may see. When walking the property, be sure to mention any narrow areas and how you're going to handle these during your installation. And now would be a good time to talk to the customer about the features and benefits of the Automower. Most people aren't aware that 3 small razor blades are what cuts their entire lawn. This also mulches the grass for better nutrient absorption into the soil. They may also not be aware of the terrain that the mower can handle. Holes or hills or obstacles in the yard are no problem for the Automower. Even difficult installations can be handled by the Automower. And that the Automower can handle almost any yard. The Automower also mows rain or shine, and it's quiet enough to operate at night. Once we arrive at the customer's home, open the box and begin to take out all the contents of the box and get them prepared for the installation. Don't forget the 2 measuring cards attached to the cardboard box. Inside the box you'll find the following items: the 2 measuring guides, the charge station, note all the connectors are on the back side of the charge station, the transformer, the low voltage cable, the charge station anchor screws, additional blades and mounting screws, installation wire, several bags of plastic staples, connectors for the back of the charge station, connectors for use out in the yard, and also the operator's manuals for the customer. Once you've removed all the installation items, repack the package with all the cardboard and remove it from the customer's property. The next thing you want to do is locate the power on the outside of the customer's house. This will facilitate where you're going to locate the Automower. The charge station needs to be placed near the power supply. Once you've located power, now find a spot that would be ideal for the placement of the charge station. Here we've chosen a spot for the charge station, but note it doesn't sit flush against the ground. The following modifications we did to the customer's landscaping is not always necessary, but this extra step makes the installation appear so much nicer. And now with a little extra effort, the charge station fits flush in the yard. Next, we'll attach our low voltage cable to the back of the charge station and then run that low voltage cable to the transformer and then plug it into the wall. Be sure to properly mount the transformer to keep it out of the rain. At this point, with no loop wires attached to the charge station, it should have a blue blinking light. At this point, place the mower into the charge station to allow it to begin charging while you continue your installation.
Now would be a good time to take a look at the portable winch cable layer you will be using.
Be sure to fully read and understand the owner's manual that comes with your cable layer.
The first thing we'll look at is the kickstand. This is the on-off switch for the engine. Here we have the fuel valve, the choke lever, and the throttle. This is the adjustable guide. This is used to keep your installation uniform across the entire property.
To prepare the machine to lay cable, put your wire onto the spool holder, then mount it into the bracket on the machine. Once secured, now find the end of your wire from your spool. Begin to thread it into the tube located here. Until it comes out the shoe at the bottom. Be sure the cross latch is secured.
If you're using the small spools, you can stack two of them side by side. This cable layer will also handle the larger spools.
The handle height can be adjusted by releasing this lever. You can also pivot the assembly by releasing the lever on the bottom. To begin our installation, position the cable layer as shown and spool out some extra wire so we can attach it to the charging station. Be sure to staple the wire down, as the cable layer will pull the wire through the lawn if you do not do this step. At this point, leave plenty of extra wire to come back to at the end. Starting from the right side of the charge station, start the cable layer and let it warm up slightly. Once it's warmed up, throttle the engine up and begin to lay your cable. As you begin to lay the cable, keep the handle down so that the wire is buried as deep as it'll go. Allow the tires to slip to maintain control of the cable layer. Continue around the perimeter, keeping your distance from the edge as needed. When you reach a marked underground utility, you can simply lift up on the back of the machine, and this will lay the cable closer to the surface to avoid contact with the other cable. The boundary wire defines the mowing area of the lawnmower. The charging station sends a signal through the wire. The mower has a sensor that detects the signal. If it crosses over the wire, it stops and turns and changes direction. If there are areas or obstacles on the lawn you don't want the mower to enter, you will need to create islands with the boundary wire. Lay the wire from the border to and around the obstacle. The direction is very important. Do not cross the wire. You should view this as an extension of the boundary wire. If you're coming from the right, stay on the right going around the obstacle. When the wires are placed side by side, the signal is canceled and the mower will pass. If you cross the wires, the mower will not recognize this and will not pass. The mower will stop and you will receive an error message. If you have several obstacles close to each other, you can do them like this. Continue around the property until you make your way back to the charge station. Once back at the charge station, pull out additional wire and move the cable layer out of your way. Secure the wire to the ground and then calculate how much additional wire you need to reach the back of the charge station. Leave yourself plenty of extra wire to work with. Now secure the wires around the charge station for a clean install. Once the two boundary wires are attached to the charge station, at this point you should have a yellow flashing light. Now we need to install the guide wire. Be sure to staple the wire down before having the cable layer pull the wire so that you don't pull it out from the charge station. Now you can begin to lay the guide wire. Continue laying cable until you reach the planned spot to connect to the boundary wire. In an open yard, lay the guide wire from the charge station directly across the middle of the yard. If the guide wire is on a slope, lay it diagonally so the mower will have optimum traction to get back to the charge station. If you've predetermined where your guide wire will be and you've left a loop of wire as shown, you can now attach all three wires together. Be sure to install the wires all the way into the connector. This will complete the installation of the wires.
Once you have the boundary wire and guide wire connected to the base station, you should have a solid green light. At this point, you can securely mount the base station to the turf.
Now would be a good time to start thinking about your cleanup. At this point in the installation, we need to think about lawn coverage. And now we're on to the programming of the machine. This mower already had a pin code entered. From this main screen, let's hit Menu and we can check out our options. We have the schedule and we have the settings. This is where you'll mainly work. Most of our setup will be done in Security, Lawn Coverage, and Installation tab. In lawn coverage, this is where we'll set up our remote areas. Under installation, this is where most of our setup will occur. In the General tab, this is where things like date and time and language are set. In Security, we can change the security level settings or go to Advanced for more options. Under Mode, you can change to secondary area or park the mower, or even override the schedule. Here you can use the scheduling wizard to help you set up the machine. You need to follow all instructions in the owner's manual for all the options and setting up the machine for the customer's use. Now that the installation is complete, start the mower and watch it back out of the charging station. The first thing it will do is calibrate itself to the guide wire. Then it'll begin mowing. Once you've ensured that the mower will operate, now return it to the charge station to see if it'll dock properly. If the mower has problems docking or doesn't dock, there may be a problem with the installation, the placement of the charge station, or the mower. If there are any issues, refer to the Automower Diagnostics Flowchart PDF available to you. Once you've ensured proper operation, now it's time to pair the customer's phone to the mower. Be sure to read and follow all instructions in the operator's manual for setting up Automower Connect and pairing a customer's phone.